Hello, Howlers! Welcome to Howler Pod, your podcast for all things Red Rising, where every episode we dive deep to break down, celebrate, and discuss all aspects of the fantastic Red Rising saga by Howler number 1, Pierce Brown.
Ow, ow!
I am your host, Ben Reinert. I am joined today, as always, by the amazing Erin Ayers.
Hello, Howlers!
Wait.
Join.
Welcome to Words and Whiskey Short Pours, a monthly podcast where we have a fun time discussing fictional worlds and people that create them, all while boozing just a little bit. My name is Cross.
I'm PJ. We have other people here. What the fuck's going on?
This is actually Howler Whiskey Pod.
Yeah.
Howler Whiskey
that.
Pod. Yeah, that's a good one. We need an official title because it can't just be the tequila special from now on.
Especially because we're out of tequila.
It's true.
PJ's drinking tequila.
I'm drinking tequila.
Yes, he's holding the torch for us all.
It's true.
You guys have to pick it up, though. Like, I need help. I need you guys to help me with this.
PJ is struggling to empty his bar. But we are joined, of course, today by the incredible duo that is Howler Pod, Ben and Erin. How are you both doing today?
So good.
So good. Happy to be back.
Yeah, we dusted off our dusty microphones just to be here today.
And
Very
we're
exciting.
excited.
So excited. It's a beautiful spring day. You can hear the birds chirping.
It's like, do the birds chirp at like 8 p.m. in...
Oh my God. We have...
Apparently.
Yeah, oh yeah. They chirp until the sun goes down. We have woodpeckers too. They like to bang on the vents on our roof. That's always exciting in the morning.
It sounds really
Super
fun.
Really cool, yeah.
Apparently they don't like foil. So if you put some foil up there...
I have
They'll
gone
go
out
away.
like in my robe and like screamed at them. So I'm sure my neighbors think I'm a crazy lady.
This is a massive tangent, but when I lived in New York City, I had pigeons in my walls. I don't know if you guys have
In
heard
your
this story or
walls?
not. In my
Wow.
walls. Yes, they were in my walls. So they had like burrowed in behind like brick and were like in between the plaster and the brick. And
That's
so
pretty
they would be like
impressive.
scratching around at night and everything else. And it was super annoying and very loud. And so like what you do is you
Terrifying.
buy rubber snakes to like be a deterrent. They did not give a shit about those rubber snakes. New York pigeons do not give a shit.
First, they're all
Traps,
deformed
nothing.
anything.
Everything I
Fuck
tried.
your snakes.
So, New York the pigeons are a little bit more tenacious. You need real snakes.
Yeah, just throw snakes in your wall.
Real snakes in the wall.
Get a boa constrictor. He'll grow real big. He'll
Set
protect
that
the
guy
wall
loose.
forever.
Maybe.
It's a great solution.
Then he'll
And this
graduate
has
to the
been
sewer system.
Snake Howler Whiskey Pod. It's your turn. It's your turn.
Okay, it's my turn. So, we actually do have a point of order here. We have some business to take care of. We've got a very exciting announcement to make public today that we've been working on for several months now, I think.
Yeah, it's been going on for a bit. We've been talking about it for a couple of months, and we are super excited to have you two be joining us as our first additional content creators under Atomic Pylon. So Howler Pod is officially our first ever extra show, like added show. Welcome to the network. Cheers.
Cheers.
You're supposed to say we've been
acquired.
acquisitioned.
Yeah, we will not be disclosing the terms of this agreement, but
It was $44 billion.
how much was Twitter worth? It's probably
48,
twice that.
I can't remember.
This is twice that, at least.
Elon can't afford us.
Elon's a pixie. We all know that.
Somehow we can with all of our
He's-
dollars.
You guys were
certainly-
able to pull together the dollars, and you came with a very
Couple
strong
of
offer,
silvers
so-
over here.
I've strained all of my personal relationships to make this happen.
And that's why you live in a closet now.
And that is why I do actually live in my recording closet. I've got beans over here in a container.
It's your new home.
Got a little can for other things. I've got two towels. Importantly, two towels.
2 towels. Face towel, ball towel.
Good thing we're worth it.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So we're very excited to add you. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. So we do have kind of an order for what we want to do this episode. First, we're going to talk about what we're drinking, as we usually do. Then we're going to talk about what you joining us means for everyone at home listening and kind of what we want to do and how we're going to proceed and kind of all that fun stuff. And then we're going to do a kind of what have we been into update segment. So
What are we into this week?
except for like
Month. Summer. Summer? It's not summer.
it's not summer yet.
This fall.
Coming to you
It is
in the middle of the spring. All the things we'd liked since winter.
I always forgot if spring or fall came first.
It's
Really?
I had to be like, in school, I'm like, which semester is this?
Okay.
Okay. Are you concerned about me becoming an architect?
I'm slightly.
building buildings. Sounds great.
Not, yeah,
It's apparently easier than remembering seasons.
it is. Or where the Four Seasons is. There's very many locations.
All right. So first, we're going to talk about what we're drinking here. PJ, kick it off. What are you having today?
So I found a recipe. Forgot the name of that recipe, but I tweaked it a bunch anyway, so I don't know what to call it. But it's blue and it's pretty and it's delicious. So 2
Blue
ounces
Thunder.
PJ's Blue Thunder.
Let's go with it. Let's go with it. So
Were you
2
going to say the
ounces
same thing? Pure
I've
chaos
got
over here.
The ever important Terramana tequila for this. So 2 ounces.
Oh my
of
God,
that.
we have a convert?
I was a convert from the first
Yeah,
moment.
he
you
By the
guys
way,
the beginning.
told me about it.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson also supports Howler Pod.
yeah.
So you guys had to buy his share
Right.
to acquire
that's-
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't
was
It was a
another
very
big
expensive
deal.
share.
He
$12
broke,
billion.
and Crossland arm wrestled The Rock and won. So.
Surprisingly, yeah. Crossland's
I
got
did kick him in
guns.
the shins a bunch.
He's got big shins.
He's got really big shins. Really easy to kick,
Shins
actually.
are bigger than you. I'm pretty sure.
Bigger than my whole body.
Terramana, it's good.
2 ounces of tequila straight from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's fingertips. 1 ounce of Lillet Blanc, 1 ounce of Orgeat, 3/4 an ounce of lime juice, half an ounce of blue curacao, 2 drops of vanilla extra. All of that shaken and then poured over 1 ounce of seltzer in a coupe glass. So
Fancy. You fancied this up, I think, even
I
from what I
fancied it up.
expected
I
sounds
did.
hella
I went
fancy.
fancy with it.
Wow.
And because Cross and I drink a lot on this show, we've got back half beers. So I've got Chuggy Chuggers, which is a lager from Drecker.
Chuggy.
And it says live, laugh, lager on the bottom.
Straight to Karen's heart.
That's lovely.
Straight
So,
to Karen's heart.
why is your beer already open if it's for the back half?
So I don't make a hissing, cracking noise in the microphone later on.
Because he's a professional, Aaron.
Oh my God.
So I can smooth, so nobody knows how quickly I go through my drink and start on the beer.
Because typically it's in the first 10 minutes. PJ stops talking about his cocktail and he's already drinking the beer.
Well, because I drink it during the Devil's Cut.
Nice.
There have been instances where this is gone before we start the episode.
It's true.
That has happened.
It makes for a more fun episode.
It's true. It's true. I'm having a drink that I've had a couple of times on the show called a Midnight Stinger. I really dig it because it kind of tastes like Coca-Cola, but like alcoholic and like a little bit more like it's so good. What it is, it's 1 ounce bourbon, 1 ounce Fernet, 3/4 ounces simple syrup, 3/4 ounce lemon juice, shaken and generally garnished with mint. I just doubled that, made it a double. That's what I'm drinking.
Looks refreshing.
It does.
It is.
It looks like
super
iced tea.
Ridiculously good. It does. It tastes like Coca-Cola though. I swear, just without the carbonation.
You could seltzer that
I
up.
won't that.
Carbonate.
I want that. Yeah, why don't
Yeah.
you guys send us to go cocktails before these episodes?
Do we not write that into the contract? Or
A growler of whatever that is.
What are you guys drinking?
So Ben
you
and
guys
I are
having?
both drinking a local brewery, Casey Beer Co.
Great beer.
Bier. They put the I back in beer is on what the cap says. And I'm having a Dunkel.
And I'm having a Hefeweizen.
If you had to describe those to us using only vowels, how would you do that?
Wow.
Yo.
Yo. E-ah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was trying to burp and I couldn't do it.
Mine is a Bavarian style wheat ale. It's nice. Just a very solid, good beer.
Mine's a dedocted Munich style brown lager. So
the Dunkel is the best one. She got the good one. So
well, I like Hefeweizen, and I saw you grab that one. I was like, fine, I'll drink the Dunkel.
I thought I was grabbing a Dunkel, to be honest. They look the same.
We like to go hang out at KC Beer. What's it called? The one next to the taco place. That's not KC Beer.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, iTap.
iTap.
Yeah, there you go.
And Ben always gets a Dunkel in this cool little glass.
Because of the mug. Yeah.
It's like a glass. It looks like a root beer glass.
Nice.
It's just like a
Stein.
It looks like a barrel, you know. Have you had like a root beer glass?
Yes.
Come on,
yeah,
guys.
right. Like you've got the full mug of beer, and you just feel like a hero. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
You're
feeling like
I
a
am
hero.
Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally
like
get
Thor.
that.
But yes, I think they distribute in the area and maybe around. So if you're
We've
in
got a
Kansas City,
couple
you can
good-
definitely have them.
Yeah.
Probably in the surrounding area as well. So they're worth checking out.
PJ probably could find them within
Might
reason.
be able to.
We can send you a case.
All right. So moving into kind of the discussion, we wanted to just talk about what this means for listeners, what our goals are kind of with the show, as we had discussed previously, and like what we want to do. So this is all kind of loosey goosey for the most part, but I do want to say like our goal, our contribution here is to bring you guys back, with like a monthly show probably or so until, the new book comes out, resume kind of normal stuff, TV show plans, kind of as you guys have planned for the most part, but help you get there. In addition,
Make us
moving your
work.
stuff. Well, just like a little bit, just like no, it's not that bad. But the fun part is that we're taking some of the load off of you by doing the production and the sound and getting everything together there, as well as getting equipment upgraded and like bringing up everything,
Adding a level of professionalism, maybe. We appreciate.
No, absolutely not. Have you listened to the front half of this episode? There's no chance.
By the way, Ben was setting up his mic and almost KO'd our little sound system here. I was like, not yet.
With my beer. It was fine. Everything worked out.
The sound system just wants to participate. I don't see why that's a problem.
Exactly.
just wants to drink along, But yeah, so
have you told everyone about Atomic Media? I'm running your show now.
Atomic Pylon
I'm
Media.
in charge.
We've previously talked about it as an extension of the show and kind of being of Words and Whiskey, kind of being the like mother company. We haven't really spent a lot of time yet saying what it is on the whole. So maybe this is a good place to do that now that you've asked. But our goal is to be kind of a network for podcasts and shows. We've got a couple that are coming out. We've got one that we're partnering with Catacomb Party and releasing as well. So in addition to you guys externally that we are both a part of. And then we've also got two other internal shows with PJ and I and with Tim and I that we're also going to be releasing externally. So all in all, that puts us at 5 shows, I think, produced, in addition to a like platform for hosting that makes it really inexpensive to enable a lot of these things, and combined marketing arm, leverage, ad targeting, blah blah blah. So that's kind of the goal.
Cooperation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me record this for you because you're going to need this. This is Atomic Pylon Media.
Oh, we're definitely going to get recordings from everyone saying that. We are definitely stealing everyone saying that. I'm just going to cycle them through because it'll be, that'll be a great way. This is
That's pretty
Atomic
good, right?
Pylon Media.
Yeah, you guys.
This has been an Atomic Pylon Media production.
That's a NPR voice if I've ever heard one.
I do listen to a lot of it.
It's that like soft.
Wait, this is my
airy-
NPR. Ready? This has been an Atomic Pylon Media production.
We're sponsored by
Terry Gross.
Terry.
Edited by. Yeah. It's just
And
slightly
not
generic.
Ben. Ben's excited to not listen to my voice 50 times in a row.
Oh, I mean, I'll still edit, but yeah. I'm
I
okay with
won't.
that part. As far as the production part, I would love that.
Hell
for that
yeah.
to be taken off my plate. So.
Hell
Can you
yeah.
can you go back and like fix our first episode?
I don't
We're
think there's any
actively working
fixing
on
that.
doing that for ourselves right now. Just going back and fixing our back catalog. Yeah.
That was good.
I mean,
I had
you
a
know, what do you
friend
do?
who started listening to our show, and he listened to the first couple episodes. He's like, "Man, it sounds like you guys are talking on speakerphone in the car."
Yeah,
I'm like, "Oh yeah, we gotta fix that."
not what we want.
Fix that in episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about where we fixed ours.
We've all been there. But Radiolab's first episode is also terrible, so I don't feel bad.
Huh. I didn't know that. Makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
We
it's
all
kind of
gotta
like an
start
artifact,
somewhere.
you know?
Yeah.
Right. The other fun thing, besides like improving and kicking off all these new shows and doing all of this fun stuff with you guys, is also doing some kind of a new show that we're still kind of workshopping, right? Yeah.
This has been a tease. Do you know-
This is a tease. I mean, we discussed a little bit about this last time, but the idea of like doing a different show of some kind on the network, something that you guys wanted to do, you know, kind of cycling,
hell
longevity,
yeah.
whatever.
Ben and I are celebrities.
Okay. I do not stand by that statement.
Are we on that sub betting where people bet when we're going to die?
No.
This is for the before show recording.
But yes, we are excited to be able to, you know, expand our opportunities and have a little bit of space to,
You're being so politically correct.
you know, I don't know,
Such a
explore the galaxy of podcasting. I really landed that plane. There we go.
I think you did. The plane, it was shaky, and then it like, boom, got it.
Your name is Sully,
Nailed it.
the drunk pilot.
With this acquisition, you get access to our galactic space like flights and use of the spaceship whenever you want. So you
yes.
have to drive to Minnesota to do that.
What I was trying to say is by joining up with you guys, it allows us to expand a little bit and try some new things and create something else, have the resources to do that and the friends to help us out with it. So
Yeah, I love I love how Howler Pod and the whole Red Rising universe, you know, brings together such a cool group of people. And thanks to Papa Pierce here, we got new friends and new business partners. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's fairly ridiculous and really cool. So I'm pretty excited for all of that. And like you said, Ben, yeah, we're very excited. And part of that is like partnering up, and you know, it can be any number of things, and that's why it's
exactly.
so cool.
This has been a tease.
The possibilities are limitless.
Limitless.
You just started talking like you were on NPR again.
Sorry.
Are we talking soft all of a sudden? We're gonna do that.
we're gonna
Bring
talk
this-
really
I
soft.
was just trying to
I
Oh.
will say PJ is soft in my ears, so I feel like I'm shouting over him.
Yeah, it's just because PJ kind of talks that way all the time. He can't help. but
PJ, you're on the
sneeze.
wrong network. You need to go
I'm a very
over.
gentle
God damn it.
person, and I feel intimidated by all these loud voices. And I'd really appreciate if everybody just calm the fuck down for a little bit.
If we could just bring it down a notch for PJ.
People say that to me all the time. No, it's more like, I can hear you.
Well, when you do get drunk, you do.
I used to be a
Get loud.
singer, and I am very good at projecting.
That's true.
What are we into this spring?
That was nice.
That works
that's
really
great.
well. Yeah.
I wasn't.
I got
wasn't
the
expecting
season
spring.
right.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you did get the season right.
Who's starting us off?
We're
I
doing
think-
categories, right?
So we're gonna lead off with books.
I'm going to start with one that Crossland told me to read.
Ooh.
So for my book, I pick Warbreaker by Sanderson. What do you call him? Branderson?
Branderson, for sure. Yes. We call him Branderson.
And this is a one-off novel, but it is in the same universe as Mistborn. As what?
As it's in
All
the
of them?
Cosmere, which is
On the Cosmere, right?
Yeah.
And it's about a couple of sisters, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but it was a really good novel. Yeah. Should I tell more about it?
You can.
I
you
will
can
say
Like a quick summary.
okay, so
my
take-
list for the record.
you
should I
can't
take
have
this
it.
off?
That's why I went first.
Are we
Damn
going
it.
to be reading this? And should I take this off?
No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine with a general summary. You're not going to be ruined.
Sounds good.
There, it's basically there's a kingdom and there's a smaller kingdom, a subset, and the generation of the small kingdom. They used to be ruling the major kingdom, and then they separated. Anyways, so there's like a treaty that says one of their daughters, after her 16th birthday, 18th birthday, has
Something
to
like that.
come marry not the God King. Is it the God King?
It's the
Oh my
God King, basically.
Okay.
Emperor, God Emperor.
And anyway, so stuff happens. There's a couple sisters involved. There's some magical powers. It's pretty fucking cool.
Okay.
It's a sweet book. It's
Let's see
also
you.
on my list.
There's a lot of growth with the sisters' relationship with each other and them individually. So some great female leads, and yeah, read it. It's an easy audiobook to get through.
Yeah, the audiobook is fantastic. Would definitely
Yeah.
recommend it.
Written in 2009.
Yeah. We're definitely going to be covering that one on a short pour later this year. So maybe, Erin, we'll just have you back and we can talk about it.
Please do.
Cool.
So I would say I'd love for you to accept our offer to be on the show for that. But now that we acquired you, we get to say you have to be on the show.
Wow.
Erin will be appearing.
No,
Our
of
episode
course.
of
Like
Warbreaker.
it'd be so much fun to have you on the show if you want to do that. That'd be a great time.
It's all been a long con.
now I don't. I'm just kidding.
Now that you guys want her, she's out.
We paid you upward of $70 billion.
Yes.
Fine.
I'm in.
We can do one podcast.
Also, I'm down to talk about any books. Crossland, keep telling me what you read. I'll do it.
Yes, I pretty much
part
have
of
just
our
been
contract.
feeding you my list of books.
I
and you've
need a
just been
new
reading
one.
them all,
I just,
so.
I've been out in the wilderness without an audiobook.
I was about to say if we're going to go in order, we'll do Aaron, Cross, Ben, PJ, just to switch between hosts
PJ,
of
you're
shows.
last.
So
Yep.
PJ will round out.
I'm also into the Architect Studio Companion
Sounds riveting.
and Meeb.
Absolutely.
Hey, PJ, you know Meeb?
Meeb?
Mechanical and electrical equipment for buildings. It's a book this big.
I am not familiar with that.
Well, probably, yeah. It's made for architects, so.
Dummy.
Dummy.
All right.
I feel like
You please, not knowing me.
Meeb does not Meeb. The plebe.
I am a Meeb plebe.
Okay, well, I only read like one book that I can remember right now,
Okay.
so let's move on. Cross,
You've been studying.
What did you read?
I have read a lot because I have had to. So we've committed at this point to doing the Cosmere over the course of the next year and a half, the whole thing, everything that's been published. So what that's meant for me is reading everything in there. So I read Warbreaker, Elantris, Stormlight Archive, 1, 2, 3. I'm in the middle of 4. It's somewhere in the realm. I've read somewhere in the realm since last time that we spoke of like 6,000 pages of Brandon Sanderson, which is nuts. But I would.
He's really long-winded too.
Well, I think Warbreaker is him figuring out how to write longer books better, and then the Stormlight Archive is like almost perfect as far as like pacing in long format. So I loved The Way of Kings. I'm not going to talk about it too much because PJ is eventually going to read it, but just to kind of give an overview, Stormlight Archive is an epic fantasy. It is kind of the main spine of the Cosmere to some degree, in conjunction with Mistborn. They're kind of the two main pillars.
I love Mistborn.
Mistborn's really great. Obviously, we're reading that right now. But Stormlight 1 and 2, 3 and 4 so far have been excellent. 2 is my favorite of the series as it stands. I love it. I'm not going to talk that much more about it because people who are listening to this have probably read it and they know, and I'm not going to spoil it for PJ. But that was one. Those are kind of the books that I've been reading. I also read Warbreaker, of course, of which I wanted to re-mention in a similar context because I love that. That was the book that changed my opinion on a lot of my takes on Brandon Sanderson's style, because I think it's very different than the original Mistborn trilogy, and it broke a lot of the format problems that I didn't appreciate at first. It's an issues in quotes. It's just a stylistic thing. It just feels warmer, and it feels like there's more like love put into that book. It's like a much more heartwarming book in a bunch of ways. So that one really broke out and is a standout for me still. And then Rob Hart's The Warehouse. We interviewed Rob Hart for the previous Short Pour, and that book I read in in a quick blip of 24 hours right before the show. Finished it 30 minutes before we went on to record, and so good. Just an incredible dystopic science fiction novel.
What's it called?
Like The Warehouse, but it takes place like imagine 30 years from now, Amazon, and that's kind of what it is. And so it's like people working at Amazon in 30 years where they've grabbed a bunch of land and people live on property and they work within the system and they get paid. Like it's the old like 1900s industrial system, but then you've got two perspectives. You've got a spy and you've got a person who's actually working for the company, like a corporate espionage person. And it's so cool. It's so good. So well done. So
nice. That sounds really good.
Rob Hart's The Warehouse, Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson, and Stormlight. I also read Gideon the Ninth, of which we talked about on the show with Pierre Ford, which was also very good. That's pretty much all that I've read. They've all been good though. Nothing disappointing.
I will say Stormlight, it's like a slow like tease for so long.
And
then like finally like all this shit happens and Kaladin is like super sexy. He's the main character.
Yeah.
So badass. And I mean, the slow burn like was killing me for a while, I'm not gonna lie, especially in Way of Kings. But then like it's worth it.
It all starts going. Yeah.
You gotta like the foreplay. Because it takes a long time.
It's true.
It's great.
Yeah, so that's me. Let's go to Ben. What about you on books?
Well, I have been working my way through the Dark Tower series. I won't talk about that too much because we know all about that.
Did Cross tell you to read that?
Yeah.
Cross, you're in charge of our reading.
Well, I had...
You're also in charge of what PJ reads.
Yeah,
you're like the god of book suggestions.
The guide.
The power.
Yeah, I had read 1 through 3 of that series and then put it down, and now I started back up. So I've finished Wizard and Glass and The Wolves of the Kala, and now I'm finishing up Insomnia because you told me to read that before book 6. So I'm about to start book 6 here, probably like next week. So Song of Susanna. Great books. Wizard and Glass like floored me. I love that book. So good.
Romance novel in the middle of the series. It's so
it was awesome. Some other books that I've been reading. I read The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones.
This was fucking good.
Yes, like what a horror novel that is.
God,
just a great ending. Really enjoyed that book. Don't even really want to say too much about it. Definitely worth checking out.
You said it's horror?
Yeah, it is definitely horror. Yeah.
I'm not reading.
But it's good. It's a quick, very quick
spook
read. Yeah, it's so good. And I really, really enjoyed that, especially, like I said, especially the ending. And then a audiobook suggestion here. I listened to Yearbook by Seth Rogen.
Yearbook.
It's called Yearbook, yes. And Seth Rogen, a human that I just very much enjoy. And this is just basically kind of the story of his life told pretty quickly over about 6 hours on an audiobook. Has a lot of like celebrity voices along with it. Seth Rogen actually narrates the audiobook, And mostly it's just a lot of stories about him doing drugs and just like crazy situations in Hollywood, like him being on Molly while learning that they're not going to have the Interview premiere and stuff like that. The Interview was that movie about North Korea that they made, and just like him telling the story of how he got the news of that.
Well, it was on
just
Molly.
Very, very entertaining and fun. So that was a quick, fun read, I thought.
He does pottery too.
And he does a lot of pottery. Yep. And he does a lot of pot. Yeah.
Pot. To
Pot.
read.
Yes. So that's what I've been reading this year, along with a few other things. I've done a lot of Stephen King. I listened to Later by Stephen King.
Yes.
That was a fun one. Very quick little audiobook as well. So good stuff.
Lots of Stephen King. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is because I've been abusing you with recommendations again. As like, you must finish
Hey,
The Dark Tower.
where
And you're like, oh.
Where are my recommendations?
I mean, all you have to do is ask, and I will not shut up. That's basically the methodology here.
Well, I love Stephen King, but I just
yeah.
I'd read some Stephen King, but not a whole lot of it. So there's so much of it out there for me.
Right.
Still, I'm glad that I'm starting to knock some of them out this year, especially Dark Tower. It's been totally worth it.
Yeah, The Dark Tower is fucking insane. Remains my favorite series. But I'm glad that you made the stop off for Insomnia, because I think when we eventually do the series, we'll do the same thing, because I think it is basically a novel that belongs in the cycle.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's making sense why it's starting to connect. I'm like 3/4 of the way through and all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then once you read song, it'll make more sense. Okay, anyway.
Yep.
PJ is not going to remember any of that, so cool. Those are awesome. So we move to PJ. Books.
So, the last couple years, if you have been listening to this podcast, you have heard almost every book that I've read talked about in detail.
He's not allowed to read unless he gets the green
No,
light.
you can read other shit. He just hasn't
I
had time.
can. I just don't have time to. So,
Also
the exceptions
studying.
to that are textbooks, obviously, but The
Mead?
Warehouse by Rob Hart, which was tangentially related because we talked, like, I read it in preparation for talking to Rob Hart, and The Hobbit.
Ooh,
So
that's a fun
I
one.
listened to The Hobbit while I was working. I started listening to The Silmarillion, and that is too dense to read or to listen to while working. So
Yeah.
I have not kept up with that. I got through like the first several hours. I'm like, I've been working on 3D models. I don't know what's going on. Like, fuck. I've been answering emails. What the shit? Okay. So
Yeah, I can't listen to
I'm-
anything with words while I'm working.
What did you guys think of the Rings of Power trailer?
I have not watched it.
Have not
your
watched
Team
it.
No
So-
Hype, right? That's right.
Right.
Team
Team
so
No
fun-
Hype. But now just read all of the other Lord of the Rings books and rewatch all the movies, PJ, and then you'll be ready.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm going to do now.
Did you know? I don't know if you guys knew this. The Rings of Power show is not based on the Silmarillion. It's based on the appendices of all of the Lord of the Rings books worked together as the story that it is. So they're unable to license specifically the Silmarillion. So instead, they own the Lord of the Rings series, including the appendices, and they're using the appendices to create the story of the Silmarillion.
Interesting.
So it's
Sneaky.
sneaky. Yeah, it's sneaky is what it is.
Sneaky.
That's really sneaky.
It's a $1 billion TV show, so
Yeah,
super
that's
less
It
than
looked-
what it costs to acquire you
Well,
guys.
you missed out because the trailer looked cool.
pretty legit. Yeah. I mean, I don't
The
know.
trailer was Team Hype.
I don't know too much about that type of stuff, but
It just had the same graphic, like the
I was
rings
like, that looks
forming, yeah, as the movies.
I'm
I'm
very
super
excited.
pumped. I'm super excited.
nice.
It is guaranteed the moment it hits our inbox, watch thing for me. Drop whatever the hell I'm doing.
That is crazy.
Probably do something similar to what started this podcast to begin with, which was Crossland and I watching Devs together.
Oh my God, Devs was so good.
Right?
Devs
So
It,
few people know about
creeped
Devs.
me out
Awesome.
so hard, but dude, I fucking love Ron Swanson. I know that's not his real name.
Nick Offerman.
Nick
Offerman,
Offerman. Dude, it was so creepy. Did you watch it?
I have not.
Oh my! I told you to
It's so
fucking
good.
watch it. It's on the What Are We Into master
No,
list.
you don't. You know I don't listen to you though.
Listen to us. Watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, now
That
they
is-
recommend it.
That is literally what started our show, though. I think we've talked about that recently because we like during the pandemic, we like watched it and I was like, I think I can get PJ to read Dark Matter and Recursion by Blake Crouch after he liked the show so much because we like live watched it and talked about it afterwards. That's
Dark Matter was dope. That was
Yeah.
I was pissed about the ending, but just because I felt like, man, that was just
Well,
when
did
it got
pe-
when
did-
all those I guess I can't. I don't want to ruin it for you, but
I was like,
when all those versions start showing up at the end, I'm like,
Yep.
this is fucking awesome. And then it just ends.
It's wild. It's wild. Yeah. You're just like, whoa.
by the way, everything you ever tell me to read or watch, I do it.
I know. I was just joking. It was for the pod.
Okay.
All right, so that rounds us out.
Not quite. I want to talk about what I have on my bedside table for reading. The Cuckoo's Nest. Or The Cuckoo's Egg, sorry, by Cliff Stoll, which is a sort of autobiography story about basically one of the first documented instances of government hacking as an astronomer student at Berkeley.
Nonfiction?
Nonfiction, yeah. And then The Paradox Hotel, Rob Hart. So that we interviewed Rob Hart as sort of his press tour around the ahead of the launch of that book. So I still haven't been able to read it yet, but I'm very, very excited to. It is.
It's going to be my beach read in like 2 weeks.
It's
You got
it's
the
like
beach?
a murder mystery story in a hotel for time travelers is like the
That sounds
pared down
awesome.
elevator pitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to read it.
You would like that.
Very exciting. All right, with that, I think we move into movies.
Movies.
I'm ready.
It's me.
Yeah.
I'm Vengeance. So I really liked, I really, really, really enjoyed the new Batman. Ben and I saw it with John, who fell asleep immediately.
Classic John.
But Ben and I were like on the edge of our seats, like, I'm Batman. I love Robert Pattinson, from Twilight and everything else he was in.
Do we all have the Batman on our list, by the way?
Yes.
I didn't put it on my list, but
Vengeance. Zoe Kravitz is so fucking hot. I mean, I'm going to start walking like that. Very great movie. The Adam Project, I loved it. Did you guys watch it?
I've not seen it yet. It's on my.
It's a really good, like, quick. It has Guardians of the Galaxy vibes, and I love another Zoe. Solanda's in it, and obviously Ryan Reynolds. Whew. Easy to love. The kid is a great actor. His name is Walker Scobell, and it's about time travel.
I think he's also playing Percy Jackson in the Lightning Thief movie.
oh,
If
nice.
I remember correctly.
That kid?
Yeah, I think he's been cast as Percy Jackson,
Oh, cool.
which is exciting. But
He's sometimes kid actors can be annoying, but he's really, really good. Jennifer
Cool.
Garner's
I'm
in it. Mark Ruffalo, who's like Zaddy of the Year
Zaddy of every year.
every year. Do you like how my love for movies is just that I'm attracted to every single person in them?
That's a big part of movies.
Yeah.
It's
You gotta
hot
be
people. I mean, that's why we go watch them.
You gotta be hot. Too hot to try. I think another movie that I'm gonna say, I'm probably stealing this from Ben, but I really liked Encanto.
You didn't steal that. You're fine.
You didn't put it on your list? You've been singing Bruno.
That's more my girlfriend. She's
Oh,
obsessed
I
with
see.
it.
It's a really cute movie. I love cartoon movies. Obviously, tearjerker. It's more about family than any love story, but great songs. Well done. But yeah, Adam Project. If you haven't watched it, I would. It's less than 2 hours. I mean, it's a quick movie
Yeah, it's on Netflix, right?
on Netflix.
Yep.
Sweet. Love that.
Yeah. Who's next?
That's me. Oh shit. Yeah, that's me. So mine are the Batman, of which we've already talked about. I like Seven, but Batman. You know, like David Fincher, but Batman.
Yeah.
So fucking good. PJ and I are recording an episode on that early next month, or maybe
How many
late
times
next
did
month
you
for
see
release.
it?
I only saw it once in theaters, but my mind was so thoroughly blown that when I left, I was just taking fucking notes and like I couldn't do anything the rest of the day after I left the theater. I was just like, okay, what even is life now? Like,
Yeah.
We saw it
it's
really late at
exactly
night.
it's exactly my style. I saw it at like 4 p.m. or something like that, so you get out at like 7:30 or whatever because it's a 3-hour movie.
It's like weirdly light out. You're like,
You're like,
We were going to record that night, and we decided not to.
yeah, I
think.
was like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'd say right now.
Yeah.
I'm just in love. But yeah, we were going to record a regular show that night, right? And I was just like, I can't. So yeah, so Batman, of course, is spoken about. The Northmen, of which I saw like 2 days ago or 3 days ago.
I was just going to ask you if you've seen this
oh
yet.
yeah.
It's so good. I don't
Really?
feel like I need to do anything else than pitch the fact that it is a Viking revenge story in the style of Hamlet. And that's
I
all
wanna
you
see
need
it
to know.
So bad. Yeah. Robert Eggers
actually-
is a god. I love him.
Yet the story that it's based on is the basis for Hamlet. So it's not that Hamlet is based on it. It's that, it is Hamlet is based on that story, not that the story is based on Hamlet. So
Oh, Alexander
context.
Skarsgård.
It's extremely
Yeah.
violent. Are you okay with that?
extreme.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he has a 12 pack. So
Once again, hot people.
what was the vampire show he was in? Blood, True Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah. And then The Last Night in Soho, which is a Edgar Wright movie. Came
I
out
need to
in the
see that
fall,
stuff.
but
Yeah.
I delayed watching it for a very long time. And it is just so good. It's stuck with me since I watched it. It's just haunting.
Is that on a
Perfect.
streamer, or did you have to rent it or buy it?
I bought it shortly after we had recorded the previous episode that we did, the last one that we did together. I don't know if you guys do, but I use Just Watch, which is the best service for like searching if something
It's
is
so
streaming.
good.
So
It's so helpful.
Just watch?
you can just watch.
Ju-
So you can just like
watch.
type in a title and then it will
Dude,
tell
I
you if
need
it's streaming
that.
anywhere. Yeah.
I've done
I
so
just
much
use the website.
Yeah.
Google search. I have to ask, did anyone see Everything Everywhere All at Once yet?
I have not yet, but it is on my short list to go
I
to
wanna
this
see it.
weekend,
We're gonna do
probably.
that.
My brother
probably-
said it was like the best movie he's seen.
Yeah, a lot of people compare it to like the same impact that The Matrix had. So that's a must go.
It's my fault we haven't seen it. Ben's been waiting for me.
I've been so bad about going to the movies lately, but we'll get it fixed.
We're going tonight. See you guys later.
right now. Yeah, so that's my third pick. Last Night in Soho was kind of a murder mystery with a little bit of like time hijinks. I don't know that I would call it time travel, but there's some
Yeah, was it good?
forward, backward. Oh, it's so good.
Really? Okay. The
I mean,
preview
Edgar-
was interesting.
Edgar Wright is
Edgar Wright is a
master.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are my three. Ben?
Okay, so I mean, I did see the Batman as well and loved it as well. I went a little off the beaten path. I went like backwards a little bit with my suggestions here. Maybe some things that you guys missed. The Last Duel.
We fucking just did a live show on that. It is so fucking good.
Love that movie.
I love that movie.
It's
That's
so-
also on my list.
I skipped putting that on my list because I was like, you know what, PJ's probably going to put it on his list.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you watched it though, because it is so fucking good.
So good. I mean, okay, so it tells like basically the tale of a sexual assault of a woman in medieval France, and then there's a trial by combat because her honor has been, besmirched. And it's told, the cool part though is it's told from 3 different perspectives. So each party, the guy that commits the crime, the husband, and then her is the last perspective. And each one is like a tweak on the story, so it tells it a little differently. And it just a great movie about, gender roles and sexual power and that kind of thing. So, and then, The Last Duel fucking delivers the actual duel. Brutal and worth your money. Like, there's not a lot of action leading up to that part because the whole movie is kind of the 3 parts being told, and then it ends with the duel, and it's worth the wait.
You get like little spurts of
Yes.
action with like the couple of like scenes
I guess,
where
yeah.
Jean and Jacques are at war, but other than that, yeah. But it's Ridley
And-
Scott, and Ridley Scott
Yes.
is a god. So
it's just done so well. The performances are all great. Ben Affleck having a lot of fun as like a rich count.
I love his Pierre. His Pierre is so good.
With like the worst haircut ever.
Absolutely.
And like he's blonde. Doesn't seem to make sense, but it really is great. Yeah.
Wow, look at that chin. With chin
intense.
poof.
The goatee thing. Yeah, it's not great.
Medieval
but anyway,
France. Yeah.
that movie ruled, and it was probably my favorite movie of 2021. So, yeah, if you didn't catch it, like, I don't think a lot of people saw it. It's definitely worth going seeking out.
Nice.
It's on HBO, I think, now.
I'm making a long
Yes.
list over here,
Yeah, it
guys.
is.
I'm going to be busy.
And then another one that I just kind of watched randomly. Sometimes I just like search on iTunes for movies to watch and just go through suggestions and find weird ones. This one was one of those, and it was really good. It's called The Kid Detective, and it has let me go. This one stars Adam Brody from The OC, which is kind of weird, but he's basically like a grown-up Hardy Boy detective. Like, he was a famous kid detective, and now he's a sad boy grown-up, and he has one last case to solve, and it's like a very dark black comedy, has a really, really great ending. So I won't say much more than that, but it's a mystery movie, really worth the watch. And then another one that I just watched recently was a documentary, Woodstock 99, Peace, Love, and Rage.
So good.
Yeah,
So good.
That was a really fun one. So that tells the story of Woodstock 99 and just what happened there. If you don't know, it got pretty out of control with like people tearing down stages, setting stuff on fire, kind of semi-riot, I guess.
And it talks,
but-
it compares the like expectations of the people who are running the festival versus the like artists and their the thing that sticks with me from that still is the Alanis Morissette interview, like after the fact, where she's like, yeah, I was one of 2 women here.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you're talking almost like 60 artists, and
And it was like
no
all
one-
this, rage music, and it was like the late 90s, and everybody was like really pent up, and it just all kind of came to a head. It was like a moment, and it was a great documentary. I thought it was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
That's on HBO too. You can check that out.
yeah, definitely great.
Awesome.
But Kid Detective, I know
Yeah,
that
I was
nobody's
adding
ever heard of that movie because I don't think
The
it like
Kid
got even got a wide
Detective.
release, but it was really good.
Definitely on my
2020.
radar now, throwing that on.
I remember you telling me about it.
It's well reviewed too. Yeah, fuck. All right, on the list.
Definitely worth it.
I think that leaves PJ with movies.
Yeah.
Does.
Yeah.
So I'm digging into some reserves a little bit because I've got answers taken. So Batman and Last Duel have already been discussed.
Nice.
Dune was mentioned, so there's that.
Dune also fucks.
It does.
Dune is
I
so
fuck
good.
with Dude. Ben took me to the IMAX. My ears were bleeding. It was so loud.
And you loved it.
Worth it.
We were like up by the back speakers. I was just like,
So Dune was great.
dude.
House of Gucci was
I
really
wanted to
good.
I
see
didn't
that.
see it.
I haven't watched it
that
yet.
one. I recommend it. It's a really good movie.
I love
really
a Lady
well put
Gaga.
together.
Father, Son, and House of Gucci.
That was really good.
No, it wasn't.
There you go. Her accent was bad. It was a good bad
A
accent.
good bad accent.
So the only other movie I've seen in a while is the 2009 film Brothers with Tobey Maguire and Jake Gyllenhaal. So
Is that where they're
watched
like,
I
that,
saw
Army
that.
last week.
Bros or something like that?
Yeah, so it's a Marine, and he like picks up his brother from prison.
Yeah, I
the
saw
same
that.
week he deploys, and then like he's in a helicopter crash and presumed dead. So it's like, but he's not. He's like a prisoner of war for a long time, while his wife and his brother are like getting together, kind of, and just the whole family interaction, and it all kind of devolves.
Yeah, Natalie Portman's in it.
I worked at Blockbuster when this movie came out, so that's why I remember it.
In 2009, there were still Blockbusters?
Hell yeah. They were dying.
I don't know if I would have guessed that.
Good for you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was a great job.
One of the final years of Blockbuster, I think.
Yeah.
That's when Netflix was really getting their stride as a DVD by mail service.
Ben worked at the zoo and at a Blockbuster. Like, he picked all the best jobs.
I've had
those are pretty good jobs.
Some cool jobs. Alrighty. What's next?
Fun. From there, we move into talking turkey about TV shows.
TV shows.
What you been watching?
Turkey?
Okay, I have a lot, so I'll try to not choose them all. I do have to say, Station 11 was so good. What's crazy is episode 30 of Howler Pod, we had a Howler listener mailbag, and Anna wrote in saying Station 11, like the book.
Oh, really?
Because I was looking back to see if I had said it before, and I was like, oh my God, someone already suggested the book. But the TV show is newer than that episode.
Nice.
So thank you, Anna, however you pronounce your name. Did you guys watch The Leftovers?
Yes. It's my favorite TV show ever.
That's like the closest thing to The Leftovers I've seen is Station 11. Okay. It has that depressing quality that I love.
Yes.
It's real dark. It's like a slow burn, dark, it's really great acting, great storyline. Would recommend, obviously. And you can watch it on HBO. Also, I really like period dramas. So one of the best ones I've watched recently, and I watch them all, so I know Bridgerton and whatever.
She's an expert.
Season 2, not so great. But The Gilded Age is very well done. That's been my favorite period show of late. It's less about a love story, more about the times. It's probably historically accurate. I also, a couple documentaries I really liked. It's not a documentary, it's a docudrama, but Pam and Tommy was great. Lots of boobs. So if you're into that.
I heard good things.
But I thought it did a good job of showing both sides, and Seth Rogen, your best friend, is in it. And it kind of gives you compassion and sympathy for what Pamela Anderson went through with it. And then also the Alanis Morissette documentary was really good. Especially because as a young woman who grew up screaming Alanis in her car, it was cool to watch. Okay, I think I'm done. But wait, also, I've been binging Lost in Space. I didn't watch it before.
The Netflix show?
Yeah, and it's every episode ends with something terrible's happened, so I have to keep watching. So since my last test, I've just burned through all of Lost in Space. So.
I still have the last season to go on that one, and I loved the first two. I just haven't watched the final season yet. Yeah.
It's cheesy, totally and it's obviously
it's a kid-friendly sci-fi show.
Yeah, they have extreme plot armor, which is fine because I like happy endings.
You need that.
So, okay. And the Netflix show has great production value. The actors are really great. The only thing that's cheesy about it is some of the storylines.
Yeah.
But that's just because they can't die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kill all the kids.
Yeah, right. The kids, it's shocking that they make it anywhere. But, as it goes, you have to keep the family in it. So for me, for TV shows,
yes.
I rewatched all of season 2 of Barry leading up to season 3 this last week. It's so fucking good. That TV show is so good. The first episode of season 3 is incredible. I cannot wait for everything that is to come. But so I'm technically only.
I can't believe there's so much. It's been 3 years since the new episode of Barry, right?
I thought I didn't even remember I had already watched 2 seasons. Yeah. I was like,
the second season was so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I need to rewatch.
They're writing the 4th season right now, so it's not as though we're going to have a big wait between 3 and 4. So Barry, Hacks, which is another HBO show.
I loved Hacks.
Which is fucking hilarious. It's great. It fits into that same like 30-minute comedy slot, quick, easy, dirty show. It's
Love
just
a 30-minute show.
Ride. It's a joyride. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I just couldn't stop.
Have you watched Hacks?
I couldn't stop.
It's about like an aging comedian and then a newer comedian who like has to become her assistant.
Nice.
And the push and pull there.
Yeah, it's great. I love that show. I watched all of Attack on Titan on my brother's request and have caught up through all of that, of which is a fantastic show that is still an anime, so it does have some innate flaws that are a part of the storytelling elements and like tropes. But I really like it on the whole. I think that the last season is not my favorite, but it's still really good so far. They split up originally when they announced it, they're like, oh, we're going to split the final season into 2 parts. And then they announced like 2 weeks before the last episode quote aired of the final season. They're like, and part 3 comes out next year.
Oh, whoa.
And they're just like, oh, which makes sense because the end of the manga wasn't well received. So I'm sure the anime is making slight adjustments and changes. So
would you say that that's worth it? Because
I do think it's worth it. It's it's the best of the medium. Like that's the issue.
Yeah.
It is definitely the best of the medium.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think it's worth it. I think it's still very enjoyable.
Yeah, because I heard that suggested on another podcast, and I was like,
yeah,
I might check that out.
And it's not overly long. It's only like 60-ish episodes, 25-minute episodes. So it's not crazy. I think it's worth it. It's a good show. Final recommendation, though, because those are pretty quick bullet points. Raised by Wolves. I watched the 2nd season of.
Oh my God, that was so creepy.
It remains one of my favorite shows. Like, it is crazy. It is insane. It is science fiction to the limit. Yeah, Mother's
so creepy.
Mother is very
Have you
creepy.
watched it?
I haven't.
You would like it.
You think so?
You
Okay.
would really like it. It's
When you watch it with this face, like
you're like, what the fuck is that? And again, it's a Ridley Scott production, right? And so we've talked a lot about Ridley Scott tonight, is what we're finding out, including The House of Gucci.
Raised by Wolves, you're like, I hope no one walks in while I'm watching this.
You're like,
there's some weird shit going on.
They're not gonna get it.
Yeah, they're like, what are you doing?
Like, that's a kid, and you're like, I know, but like
Just
they
let me
have to
do it.
swallow the snake. Like they have to swallow the snake.
Yeah, Raised by Wolves is like the R-rated version of Lost in Space.
Yeah, totally. That's a great call. That's exactly what it is. No joke. Wow.
Your robots aren't as friendly there.
Tim and I on our other show have 3 episodes coming out on Raised by Wolves. One which was his instant reaction to the end of season 2, and then we're doing a season 1 and season 2 like full breakdown. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good that we're committing
Mother
to
has
doing
to
hours of it.
Pop her eyes out.
Wow.
Wait, was the end in the? I won't give any spoilers, but the in the ship that was blood.
Yes. Yeah. No, I got it. There is so much to question about the end of that 2nd season that like you think about the tree and then you think about the serpent and then you're like, the fuck is going on there? And then you got the inverted cross thing where he's floating upside down and you're like, what the fuck is actually going on?
Yeah.
And all this out of contest makes no sense to anyone.
Yeah.
So it's
You
not
gotta
really a
watch it.
spoiler.
Yeah, now I'm in though. Hearing all of that.
And the very, very first episode like pulls you. You're like, okay.
You're in from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great show. Cool. With that, Ben.
Okay. My favorite shows, right, that I've watched probably in the last couple of months. Number 1, Yellow Jackets on Showtime.
I need to fucking watch it. It's on my next. It's my next.
So good. Okay. This is a show about like a high school girls soccer team that they're flying to like some championship tournament or something like that. And it crashes in the Ontario wilderness and they have to survive out there. And you find out that they survive for 27 months because the show is split up into 2 parts. Like it's told from the high school perspective and then also the perspective of the survivors 20 years later. So you know, like, some of the girls survive, but you don't know how, and you don't really know what went down. And there's a whole bunch of creepy shit going on out there in the forest. And I won't say too much more than that, but it's fucking awesome. It was a really great show. Had a great season finale. Very much looking forward to
Has a
season
good
2.
cast.
Has a really great cast, led by Christina Ricci, Melanie Linsky. She was awesome.
It's weird. I didn't know her name, but she's in everything.
She's in a lot of stuff. Yeah, you've seen her in stuff. But man, so good.
But before you move on, I just want to say, if you want a hint at the next season, apparently in the most recent KingCast episode, of which covers like King stuff from a couple of hosts that I really like, and I'm part of their Patreon or whatever, they interviewed the showrunners and asked them a question about the show in the finale, and they answered, and they're like, well, shit, now that's public. So they've put out an answer.
I'll have to listen to that.
To a question. I have not listened to the episode yet because I want to see the show so badly before I do that. But apparently, yeah.
Best part about this is you can download the Showtime app and sign up for it and get a free month. And it's 10 episodes. You can watch it all in a month, and then you can
in
just
a day.
Cancel the subscription and never have to pay for it.
Perfect.
And we are not sponsored by Showtime.
Atomic Pylon Media is not sponsored by Showtime. Rekia, though, if you want to sponsor us, Rekia Vodka, please reach out. Thank you.
It makes sense that they were on the KingCast. There's definite Stephen King vibes, like it's more of like a female bend on like a Stephen King story, but very good. So that's probably been my favorite show I've watched this year. Also, my next show, very much enjoyed. Peacemaker on HBO, starring John Cena.
I can't believe I didn't say that. Fuck you. That's such a good call. Yeah.
First of all, best intro in television. I mean, such a good opening credits sequence of John Cena and the entire cast doing a choreographed dance, and it's amazing. You do have to do some homework. You should probably watch The Suicide Squad, which is also on HBO, prior to watching.
You told me to do all of this.
Peacemaker.
I didn't do it.
It's worth it.
Our homework assignment that is incredible anyway.
It's a really good
movie.
It's a much better than the first Suicide Squad.
It is. You don't need to watch the first Suicide Squad movie. Matter of fact, you're better off if you don't waste that part of your life.
I would agree. Don't watch the first one. Don't watch Suicide Squad. Watch The Suicide Squad.
Oh my God. How am I supposed to remember that?
And it's just bonkers. Like, Peacemaker is absolutely bonkers. John Cena is hilarious in it. The whole cast is really great. Vigilante and Peacemaker just
Rob Hart during our show was like, if I could write any character, when we were talking to him, he's like, if I could write any character, it'd be Vigilante right now. Like, I want to write Vigilante right now.
He was so funny. And then together, they're just so great. So I would definitely recommend checking out Peacemaker. Written, directed, created by James Gunn, who did all of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies and wrote The Suicide Squad. And directed The Suicide Squad.
Scooby-Doo movie.
Yes, and Slither, which is also one of my favorite horror movies. Very, very good. And then as far as other TV shows, I've been watching a lot of junk. My girlfriend likes reality TV shows.
Oh, yeah.
So...
No, please tell me. My friends watch that. They talk...
what is the one that
such trash
watching?
There's so much better things to watch.
I gotta look this one up.
That sentence was really well written.
Okay. This is the one. This one was actually kind of fun, but you're just like yelling at the people on the television, and it feels really dumb, but gosh, it was kind of fun to watch. It was called The Ultimatum, and it is a show for insane people where couples that are at a breaking point in their relationship, not a breaking point, but just have reached a point in their relationship. One of the people in the relationship gives the other person an ultimatum that they have to propose or the relationship is over, basically. And then they go on this show, and everybody, one half of the couple has given an ultimatum to the other half of the couple. It can be man or woman. And then they all break up, and then they date each other for 3 weeks. And that obviously causes a lot of problems. And then they get back together with their old person, and they have to like live together for 3 weeks, and then they have to decide if they're gonna get married at the end of that. So absolutely
exhausting.
ridiculous.
Just on the concept alone, I'm angry.
I've heard people at work talking about it. I'm just like, what the fuck are people watching?
I know
these days?
it was not a show that I would ever watch regularly, but man, I had fun yelling at the television. I'll tell you that much.
It's kind of like, what was,
You need to watch it with another person and just yell at all the dumb people and just be like, this person is so dumb. I can't believe they're doing this.
what was
and
the
then turn
one
it
we
off.
both watched with the 3 hot girl? It was like 3 bachelorettes, but it was, what was that one called? With Nikki Glaser.
I didn't watch the rest of that one. You guys did. I can't. That was one. Of
That was like my one in 3 years reality show.
where it was like it was a player or a genuine guy or something like that.
Yeah. I can't even remember. It was very forgettable,
Anyway,
obviously.
trash reality television. It's not great, but
It
the ultimatum
literally
is,
melts your
fun
mind.
to yell at. I did enjoy yelling at that one. We're just looking at each other like, these people are so dumb. We would never do this. And I will say, my girlfriend and I are in a point in our relationship. We've been dating for a little over a year.
Congratulations.
It brought up some conversations between us. And we
An ultimatum, maybe?
not ultimatums, but we just it increased our communication, and we talked through like, God, we would never do that type of stuff. So yeah, there was some good that came out of it.
Oh, good.
That's like a good side effect of that.
Yeah.
Like-
It did create like conversation between the two of us, and like definitely helped our relationship.
You're looking at her like, wow, we're not that crazy.
Yeah.
Things could be way worse.
But you do
Needs my
like,
clothes
'cause-
in my closet.
yeah, the couples get to points and they're arguing about stuff that couples argue about. So you're kind of like watching other people do that and then comparing your own relationship to it.
Ben, this is not a healthy form of therapy.
We didn't have anything. It was just like there wasn't issues or anything. It was just like open to conversation.
An open
about
dialogue.
stuff.
Yeah. I'm just joking. Just joshing
The
you.
ultimatum. On
Are you going to end on that one?
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, I would tell you to watch season 14 of RuPaul's Drag Race, but it just ended. So, I mean,
Watch it.
RuPaul's Drag Race, greatest show of all time. So,
It was on your list.
Fantastic.
it was.
You just deleted it.
It's just a backup.
PJ.
So this is the
Wait,
one
can
I'm
we
most
back
prepared
up?
for, I
What
think.
does PJ stand for?
Patrick John?
Patrick John.
Patrick John.
How very British of you.
Yep. But I'm PJ.
PJs.
PJ.
It's what I've been called since I was a baby. So I answer the phone at work as Patrick, but
Oh, that's
Do you?
confusing.
That's weird.
yeah.
That's interesting.
It's my name in the company
Yeah.
directory.
Makes
So
sense.
You don't say this.
That's-
Hi, this is Patrick John.
I don't.
So what PJ does whenever I call him is says, "Oh, hello, my friend," and that's every time. Oh, hello, my friend.
Oh, hello. That's nice.
That's true. That's most of us, though.
That's our call in return. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay,
Sign.
back to the.
Back to the TV shows. This is the one I'm most prepared for because Kaylin and I get to watch TV shows because they're like small enough bits of content that we can watch together. So that's what we do. So first and foremost, Severance on Apple TV Plus.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch
I've heard
this.
great
It's really
things.
good.
So good. So good. Sci-fi, sort of almost dystopian, but not quite dystopian, like Company, sort of. A lot of mystery, a lot of just cool reveals, and lots of fun mechanics of the world. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Number 2. What was I going to say for number 2? Oh, Servant. Just finished season 3 of Servant. I loved season 1, and we watched the first couple episodes of season 2 and put it down for a year.
That's M. Night Shyamalan, right?
Yeah, he's the executive producer of it.
Okay.
Does that
Doesn't
mean
seem
it's
like
scary?
he has a huge hand in it.
Oh, okay.
There's some horror element to it, a little bit of a sort of thriller element to it.
Oh, Ron
Supernatural.
Weasley's in it.
Ron
Yes,
Weasley.
Rupert Grint is one of the main characters.
That's awesome.
So, we saw the third season was coming out. And we're like, let's pick it back up and see if it gets better, and it does. Season 2 for whatever reason, it started in a different direction than we were expecting, and threw us off. But ends fine, ends good, and season 3 is great. So, Servant, and then finally, Our Flag Means Death.
I saw this on HBO.
Yes, so that is Taika Waititi's new TV show.
Oh, I heard good things. Yeah.
It's hilarious. Like
He's so-
I feel
I
like
love
that's all
Taika Waititi.
Yep.
You guys
feel
probably
like that's
didn't
all
watch
you
the
really
Love
need
and
to
Thunder
say.
trailer, did you?
Nope.
No, but doesn't matter. I'm gonna go see it. Like that's the thing. Like I don't need to watch it because I know that I'm
No.
gonna go watch
He's
it.
team
You know
no
what I mean?
hype.
I know. But
Only on
It
things
looks
that I
great.
know that I'm gonna go see. Like if I know that I'm gonna do it, I don't need to watch a trailer.
Yeah.
If I don't know, I'll watch a trailer.
I watched one time and then I don't like, and then I'm just like, okay.
Our Flag Means Death is incredible. That would also be on my list if I didn't already have 4 things on my
Nice.
3 bullet list.
Gosh.
We got a lot of good things this
I
year.
need to
Yeah.
print this document off and get to work.
Our Flag Means Death is great though. We're talking about that live next month on the Patreon. You're welcome to join if you watch it.
Okay.
Also, yeah, was that it, PJ, for movies?
Yep, those are my 3.
PJ, I haven't watched any of what you're watching.
They're all good.
I think Severance is number 1 in my power rankings. I need to watch that one. I've been really
Yellow
wanting to see
Jackets,
that.
Severance. Yeah, for me. Cool.
But
With
serious,
that,
so I guess if you are interested in Our Flag Means Death, you would probably also be interested in What We Do in the Shadows. Which
I watched
Yeah,
What We Do
yeah.
in the Shadows. So yeah.
same
and
same
if you
vibe.
like that, you're gonna
Yeah.
love it.
Same
Yeah.
ideas.
What We Do in the Shadows is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It combines 2 things I love, vampires and
I
Taika
mean,
Waititi.
The energy vampire is just one of my favorite things on television.
What I didn't realize walking into that show is that it's talking about Blackbeard, and I knew that Blackbeard was really important to the area, but the other pirates that they're talking about, it's very historically close, which is
really?
hysterical. They're all surrounded around Wilmington, North Carolina. Literally, the pirate that is the lead of the show was executed, caught in the Cape Fear River, up from where, like, it's this whole thing. So all of these characters are actually, like, from and around this area that I live in now. Just bizarre.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Super weird.
Tight,
With
tight,
that,
tight.
we go to music.
Okay, I'll do it quick. I've
Yeah.
been listening to Her, Her,
Yep.
Her, H.E.R.
Yeah.
is how it's spelled.
Right.
It's R&B. She's a super young new artist. I think she's like 24 or something. I'm going to her concert next Tuesday
Is
at
that
Starlight.
Ooh, Starlight.
I'm very excited. It's really like sexy jam music. Good for, driving and chilling out. Another musician that I like is Yusef Days. He's a drummer and producer, and he's got sick beats. But John and I are going to New Orleans next week, and I will be seeing him there. So I like to pre-listen to all the bands I haven't heard. But he's mostly a drummer, but on Spotify, he does a lot of producing with other singers and stuff, and it's just awesome. Really cool music. Cool YouTube videos, too. Yusef Days. That's Yussef. And then another one we're seeing next week, which is... I love the mandolin and banjo and stuff, by the way. And Billy Strings is like the fucking best. And that's like our main headliner we're going to see is Billy Strings. So he's also a great singer. Man, I'm getting old when all these artists I like are younger than me.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I guess it's what's
But
going to happen.
it's good that you like the younger artists, and that you're not stuck in the, only listening to while I came out around you. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, that's my 3.
All right.
Cross, go.
Cool. Mine are pretty quick. I haven't had a whole lot of time to listen to as much new music as I'd like to, but I've recently found and liked a couple of things. So the first one is a single that I literally found today and was not able to stop listening to from a band called Day Waves. The song is called Where Do You Go? And I have not been able to stop listening to it since I heard it at 7 a.m. this morning. I played it 10 times before we started this recording in a row while I was sitting here.
It's new music as in today.
That's how I listen to music.
Well, it's not. It's new music to me. It's new music to me today. Yeah.
Right.
So it is literally. It was a perfect single and has gotten me into their whole back catalog now. I listen to a lot of the other stuff. It's great. Very hello, goodbye.
Who sings
electronic indie. Day Waves is the name of the band.
Oh, it's the band. Okay.
Yeah, Day Waves, and the song is Where Do You Go?
Where do you go?
Next up is Sherry Amore. My brother and I saw Sherry Amore in Richmond. He's interviewed them previously and had talked with them on his show that he does. And so we went to their show. They crashed at our place a month ago at my dad's place down the street, and they're coming back tomorrow. Their EP and their new album that's going to be coming out later this year are both incredible. I designed a shirt for them, which is neat. That's going to be coming out. They're just a kick-ass band. They sound great. They're a great fusion of pop punk and R&B. And this heavy, it's just such a different sound, and I really love it. So their EP, Sherry Moore's EP, is called Internal Discussions. When you look at their name, it kind of reads like Cherry Armor. And so the shirt that I made for them is, who the fuck is Cherry Armor?
Nice.
Which was a question that was shouted out at the show that I was at, and then everyone freaked out because I loved them so much. They were an opener, the first opener for 4, and more people were going for them than the next 2, which was crazy. It's a good sign. So they're cool dudes. We get to see them again tomorrow. /yesterday, depending on when you're listening to this.
We get to see them yesterday.
I got to see them yesterday.
They were great.
They were awesome. So, yeah, with that, the third pick is Set It Off's new record, Elsewhere. They're a great combination of, if you're a musical theater kid, mix that, throw it in with pop punk, and that's their whole vibe. And it's just great. Projector is the song that sticks with me the most off that record. I see them on Sunday. Yeah.
This band is from Tampa, Florida.
Sherry Moore?
No, Set It Off.
Set It Off. Set It Off is from Florida. Yeah.
You don't see a lot of Florida bands.
No, it's true. There's only a couple. A Day to Remember is another one, but those are the only 2 that I can really think of. Oh,
Less Than Jake. Most of the other people in Florida are actually Gators, so.
True. PJ, I forgot that I have to go to that show. We're going to have to deal with that in our schedule. Anyway, is that Sunday or Saturday? I'll figure that out. Cool. Yeah, those are my music picks.
Ben, music.
Okay. Well, I've been listening to country music lately, so I'm not sure what's going on with my life.
Ben is becoming a new person.
Don't ask me what's going on or what's wrong, but I found some great country music that I'm really into.
You got to sing the tagline.
I can't.
I'll sing it.
Okay, so the first artist that I really love, just saw this dude play here in Kansas City. It was a rocking concert. Gave me that feel just seeing a young band that's going to blow up for the first time at a smaller venue, and just the band's on fire, crowd's on fire. It was awesome. His name is Paul Cawthon, and his voice is very country, but his music is extremely funky and fun. And he's has the bravado of a rapper, but he is a country artist. And his best song is a song called Cocaine Country Dancing.
Cocaine Country Dancing with you.
And
by the way, Ben and John played that 50 times in a row, and I was like, stop playing that fucking song.
Erin hates it because we played it so many times, but
I don't I exclusively don't like it because they like it so much.
So, nice. But man, that song rocks. It it's just so good, and it's just about doing cocaine,
which is also a weird mix.
Yeah, it is a weird mix too. But everything about Paul Cawthon doesn't, you're kind of like, wow, this is just, none of this really lines up, but man, it works really well. So his album, Room 41, is from 2019, I think. Awesome. Whole album, front to back. Great. Holy Ghost Fire, one of my favorites. Slow Down, one of my favorites.
Who are you?
Really good. He just had a new album that dropped too. Also very fun. Check him out. My next artist is, and I'm seeing him next weekend actually. His name is Orville Peck. He's like a modern Elvis, kind of. Like he's got an Elvis style of voice, and I also like throw him in like the Roy Orbison category of voice, if you know who Roy Orbison is. But he's awesome. And he just had a new album come out called Bronco. Really enjoying it.
Is he like country Elvis?
It's like country Elvis. And let's see, how can I describe Orville? He dresses up like a cowboy. He wears a mask at all times, so nobody sees his face. His voice is amazing. And
So he's like, what is it? Meow? What is the DJ?
Dead Mouse?
Dead Mouse.
Yeah.
Meow.
Yeah.
Meow
Yeah.
Wolf? No.
yeah, and he is a sad boy, and he just writes about sad stuff from a queer perspective, which I think is pretty cool and different for country songs. And he's awesome. Orville Peck. And then my last suggestion is not a country artist, so we'll go off of country. And that's Sam Evian and his album Time to Melt. Just great driving around music. Very chill, just like bouncy. If you've ever listened to Krong Ben, it's very similar to that. And it's been my favorite thing to just like put on and drive around to.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love that
I'll
list.
listen to that last
Very
one.
excited. I've actually heard of Orville Peck, so maybe
He's worth
I haven't
checking out.
listened to, but I've heard of.
Yeah.
So definitely sounds like something I would, at the very least, give a listen to.
His voice is incredible. I mean, I would, Out of Time, Come On Baby Cry. I would start with those two and go from there if you like it.
We've all got a long list of shit we need to do.
It's true. It's true.
From this episode.
People listen to this. Like you got some shit to catch up on. Come on. What are you doing? You should have already gotten started. Those books are going to take time.
Yes, they will.
That brings us to
I should
PJ.
know.
P Jizzle.
That brings it to me.
Every time.
So I haven't had a chance, or I haven't taken the opportunity to listen to new music much lately. So a lot of mine is kind of back to some old stuff that I always used to listen to. So first of all it's one artist, but it's a whole lot of different bands. The artist is Pat the Bunny. And it is a combination of Johnny Hobo and the Freight Trains, Ramshackle Glory, the Wingnut Dishwasher Union, and then some stuff on.
Are you just making shit up? Like what is
I'm not. So this is anarchist folk punk. So like acoustic punk. It's a lot of fun, but it will make you angry, and it will make you want to abandon society and like travel the country by boxcar.
BJ almost did this in college.
I did. So I
You could have
listening.
joined one of those bands.
fairly easily.
Yeah.
Ramshackle Glory is the best of them, if I'm being honest.
Ramshackle Glory. Yeah, probably.
Dishwasher.
I like Wingnut. I like Wingnut too.
They're pretty good, but I think Ramshackle Glory is better, personally.
Yeah, Johnny Hobo and the Freight Trains album
Messy.
Love Songs for the Apocalypse, which is a split album with Man Tits.
Oh my god.
Elite
It
name.
keeps going.
It just does. It's a hole that doesn't undig
today.
itself.
It reminds me like
And-
when some young person told me about Rainbow Kitten Surprise. I'm like, you're just making shit up.
That's a string of words that means nothing.
This isn't real life.
That album is definitely the most raw of the albums you'll find from that particular artist, and it made me have a panic attack listening to it. It was a weird
good
experience
way?
because no.
So you're suggesting this?
Well, okay. It was more. It wasn't because of the content itself. It was more just a nostalgia trip of like, what was my headspace like when I was listening to this music for the first time?
Yeah.
And, I like to think that I've progressed quite a bit since then, as far as being a person goes. So there's that. But yeah, so Pat the Bunny, really, really interesting character. He's like 34 years old now, and he's been like retired or I don't think you can retire from that career because
From being Pat
I don't
the
think
Bunny.
he really made anything on it. But like he started recording music as like a 15-year-old or something, and the last thing we recorded was like 2016, and now everything that he makes off of any of his music gets donated to I think it's Arizona. I think he lives in Arizona, but there's a local like heroin addiction recovery charity that he donates everything to. So there's that guy. Second one is Neck Deep and their album Life's Not Out to Get You, which I've been listening to a bunch.
It's a great
And
record.
finally, I'm just going to throw it back to one of my favorite albums, which is Shallow Believer by The Used, which is the B-sides of, I think, Artwork?
No, self-titled.
It's the
And
B-sides of self-titled.
sorry, not self-titled. It's the one before that, Bird and the Worm.
In Love and Death?
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Okay. Yeah. So I thought it was the B-side of Artwork because Pretty Handsome Awkward and Slit Your Own Throat
It's
are both
definitely
about
not-
Gerard Way.
It's definitely not Artwork. I know
Okay.
that because that was recorded in a very different session.
Gotcha.
But it is before Artwork. It is the Lies for Liars B-sides,
Lies for Liars. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
which is Pretty Handsome
Yeah.
Awkward. That's, yeah.
Oh, that's...
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
You're right.
Had those mixed up.
All good.
But yeah, lots of Gerard Way hate on those two albums. Yep. So those are mine. Nothing new, but it's what I've been listening to.
PJ, I want to know what your band name is for your alternative acoustic rock
Oh no,
group band.
You have to top man tits, so good luck.
I've got a top man tits.
Johnny Hobo and the Freight Trains.
Johnny Hobo and the Freight Trains is such a perfect name.
It really is.
So some other folk punk bands that I listen to. There's Ghost Mice and Andrew Jackson Jihad.
AJJ is really good, though. That's the problem.
They are, yeah.
And
AJ,
they've since changed their name to AJJ because
Yeah.
Yep. They are the most palatable of any of them, I'd say.
That's incredible.
The Jihad was
so,
the most
like,
palatable.
That's a tough space to live in.
Yeah.
To try to find a better name than any of those.
P. Jizzle in the liquor closet.
there it is. We're done. No need to think any harder than that. Aaron
The
nailed
Liquor
it.
Closet is a great
I
name
started
for
laughing
like,
before
your
I said
band.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The liquor closet featuring P. Jizzle.
Yep. I'm down with that.
Patrick in the liquor
All right.
closets.
Patrick John.
Patrick John in the Liquor Closet, yeah.
You're going to regret telling me your real name.
Absolutely. I already do.
Patrick.
The world knows. Aaron, that brings us to wild card. You asked to have a wild card question here, and I am
I'm terrified.
unprepared.
You're unprepared. Okay. Ooh, that makes it more exciting. I'm totally also unprepared.
You wildcarded yourself at this?
I just wildcarded PJ, asked him what his band name was, but I gave him the answer. So
It's true.
okay, this one isn't funny. I was just gonna. What's your favorite nonfiction based podcast?
nonfiction podcast.
So not like based on a novel or anything. Just podcast. Outside of like the fantasy
you lead,
book.
though, Erin. You're in
Oh,
charge.
I lead.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say the Endless Honeymoon podcast. It's a relationship podcast led by two comedians who are married, Moshe Kasher and Natasha Leggero, and there's tons of content, tons of episodes. They're both really funny. They have a secrets hotline where people call in and leave embarrassing secrets, and then they just make fun of the people. And then they also bring on like celebrity guest hosts, which are always typically other comedians. And then they give live relationship advice to real people who call in. So
That's cool.
it's really great. Like, if you don't have anything else going on, it's a great filler. And I like wait for the next episode. They're really good. Okay, was that enough time for you
Love
to
that.
decide?
No,
Cross?
I actually have a couple. So one of them, I think the one that I listen to the most frequently is called "And the Writer Is" with Ross Golan. And so what this is Ross Golan is an industry professional songwriter producer, and so he interviews songwriters and producers inside of the industry that you probably haven't heard of, and talks with them about song construction and like recent hits and like how to compete, like how the music industry is right now, and like what people are looking for, and sort of a lot of the kind of craft on the side of songs and music. So that is one that I check out every time. It's published. They do like a weekly news thing that I don't listen to, but he does a full episode every 2 weeks, and so I listen to the full episode every 2 weeks. Beyond that, the next best one that I listen to is called the Naval Podcast, of which is Naval Ravikant, of whom I think is one of the smartest people on the planet. He talks for like 2 to 3 minutes about a topic and like releases an episode each week and continues that topic at 2 to 3 minute intervals. It's really easy, digestible.
The whole episode's like 3
quick.
minutes?
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Wow.
That's
and,
really cool.
And you basically just listen to parts of a theory and like you break it down, and so your brain has time. The way that he structures these things, because he's so brilliant, you're taking in like 3 minutes of a 60-minute lecture. Let's put it that way. And so you take those 3 minutes and you really you spend the time when you're done, because you listen to it and you think about the implications of what that means, as opposed to just waiting for the next bit. You're like, okay, what could this imply? And so your brain starts to fill out connections and think of new things, and the next week you kind of get the answer to whatever that is, or you get like the response or the next step. And so then you graduate your thoughts. And it's what keeps, and I think a lot of the same way that people like go to crosswords to keep their brains going, or not crosswords, but yeah, crosswords. It's kind of the same thing, but it is generally a lot more technical depending on the area. But he always compiles them when he's done into like a 2.5 hour episode or however long it is. So the first one that I highly recommend is How to Get Rich Quick Without Getting Lucky. How to Get Rich Without Getting Lucky.
I need that
which
one.
is fantastic.
Well, we're already rich.
Oh, right. 44
right.
billion.
Some of the best info. He was an early stage investor in a bunch of companies and is a true genius. One of the few living polymaths.
How to get
I
rich?
think it
Just
is.
be a genius.
No, he failed a bunch and fucked up a lot.
Okay.
He started Angel List, which is a hiring platform for startups, and created a bunch of other products and crazy things. Very smart guy. Yeah.
Benjamin.
He's a Tim Ferriss guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. People that listen to Howler Pod know that I have a love of wrestling. And so I do listen to a podcast called The Book of Wrestling. And it is all about the history of wrestling. And right now they're doing a bunch of episodes on the Attitude Era, which is the late 90s, which is
nice.
the heyday of
Yeah.
wrestling. Yeah. Like Stone Cold and The Rock and all that. And so they're telling it kind of from like
Attitude Era.
when it started and how it started, and they're talking to all the people that are involved, and it's super cool. I've really loved it. And if you don't know anything about wrestling, they make it super accessible. They explain all the wrestling terms and like how this stuff came to be. So it's wildly interesting podcast, especially to me. But I think anybody could be into it, and it's really well produced. The host is named David Shoemaker. He's like a really well-known wrestling writer and has covered wrestling for a long time. He wrote a book called The Squared Circle, which is all about the history of wrestling, which is awesome. And he wrote a column on Deadspin for a long time called The Dead Wrestler of the Week that I used to read because...
About dead wrestlers?
About dead wrestlers. And it would just tell you about that person's life. And wrestlers are extremely interesting people. And it's just an extremely interesting job. So they always have crazy stories. And it's a really good podcast. I've been enjoying it a lot lately.
It's too bad his name isn't David Haymaker.
Aaron with the jokes.
We're going to see a wrestling match tomorrow night.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we are.
Fun. We're
it's semi-pro wrestling.
It's just pro wrestling.
It's
just pro wrestling.
It's like a small.
It's small. It's
a small pro
it's
wrestling.
Independent pro wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're pros, guys.
Well, they get paid.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sorry I offended you.
I was just trying to, show the wrestlers some respect.
Yeah, they're pros.
Yeah.
PJ in the liquor closet.
I'm going to go with Hey Riddle Riddle, which is a podcast with a few improv comedians out of Chicago. That the thesis of the show is that they tackle riddles, but mostly they just goof off and call for different improv scenes that are inspired by whatever riddles they're mulling over in each given episode. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
I like that.
I like comedians in my ear. Makes for a happier day.
Just letting them improv on a podcast is always good, I feel like.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Good job, guys.
Good work. Good
See,
work.
It didn't even throw anyone off.
No. Yeah, we all came up with answers. I was a little worried for a second. Then I was like, wait, Crossland, you listen to a lot of nonfiction podcasts. What the fuck are you thinking?
I just meant not about books.
Yeah, no, I feel that. We have,
I figure if anyone's listening to this, then they must listen to other podcasts.
Probably true. One would assume.
No way you're their one and only.
Well, anything else you guys want to say? Anything else?
This has been fun.
This has been fun. Yeah. We're super excited to be joining you guys, and we really appreciate you bringing us into the fold. We think you guys
are pretty cool. So
I love you both, and can't wait to continue working with you. Sincerely mean that. Yeah.
Ditto.
We're super excited for it too.
We're super stoked. Don't let it go undersold. We are very excited. Well, fantastic. Of course, we're going to have you guys back on the show. We'll be going back and forth. Very excited for new episodes. You guys have so many ideas for Howler Pod episodes / we combined have a lot of ideas for episodes. That'll be a lot of fun. And we're very excited to see what you guys do next. So, including the new show and whatnot. So,
y'all are my favorite coworkers.
We do have a coworkers group chat. Cool. Yep. With that, thank you so much for listening to the show.
Thank you again to Howler Pod for being here and for being with us and for being amazing. Check them out on social media. What is your social media handles if people aren't aware?
All right. Follow us on @HowlerPod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Etsy. Email us at howlerpod@gmail.com. You can leave a voicemail, 1-800-516-1540. And visit us at howlerpod.com, HOWLERPOD. Boom, 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 boom.
Boom, 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 boom.
I had that totally memorized.
Bam, memorized. You'll also be able to find them connected with the Atomic Pylon Media website when it goes up later in May. So, in addition, we'll be doing kind of a refresh and relaunch of the Howler Pod website, which will be exciting. So, working on that design now. It's fun. It's work, but yeah, very, very excited to get all of that incorporated, and that will all be kind of in one hub, in one home on Atomic Pylon. So that's very exciting. In addition, we have something special to announce right here at the end. We are going to be launching our first edition merch via TeePublic today as well. So if you want to check it out, go to teepublic.com/words whiskey pod, because I'm not a monster and I'm not going to make you memorize a different address. So you can go check it out, Words Whiskey Pod. The link will be provided in case for some reason I'm incorrect, and I'm sure I will come back and dub this if I am wrong and make fun of myself.
So a couple nights ago, Crossland and I were like tooling around with the ideas of different like merch providers, just to see like, hey, we should do a test T-shirt, see how they turn out, blah 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 blah. And he's like, oh, let me create an account for TeePublic just to see like what their prices are and stuff. And he's like, oh shit, I signed up and now our store is live. So I'm getting our first printing for that soon. But it is the one I bought going to be in offering?
Yes, the one that you bought.
So I like corn dogs on the beach. The T-shirt that
Nice.
as a test.
Yeah, so we're running 5 different T-shirts to start with, in addition to like totes and whatever else they print on. Feel free to order whatever merch, coffee mugs, whatever. We've enabled a number of things outside of onesies because we don't want your children wearing weird beer
Why
and
not?
cocktail influenced clothing.
Start them
You
early.
disabled the onesies.
Specifically for the ones that have alcohol on it, also because the platform requires it. So, there's a combination of things. But yes, but there is at least one that you can get for your little child if you want. It's available. So, very fun. That will be launching today, so you can check that out at the same time as this episode airs. So if you haven't already, check it out. Next month, I and maybe we with PJ are going to be chatting with our buddy Another Castle about one of my favorite books to kick off a small series talking about Jeff Vandermeer. Next month we are going to be reading Born by Jeff Vandermeer. So we'll keep you posted via socials on that plan. But it's a quick read. It's like 300 pages. Beyond that, you can check out all the links in the show notes. You can follow us on socials, Words and Whiskey Pod. Motherfucker, Words Whiskey Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, and TeePublic. And Words and Whiskey Show at gmail.com. And patreon.com/Words and Whiskey.
Good job. You do this every time.
I know, and it's written out in front of me. I fuck it up every time. All right. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Oh,
Thank you
I
so
just
much.
thought of a
Y'all
better
so much.
name.
What's the better name?
The Floss Boys. Your band name.
We are the Floss Boys. We're the Butt Floss Boys.
Butt Floss Boys and the
BFBs,
liquor closet.
BFBs in the liquor closet. Yeah. There it is.
This has been an Atomic Pylon Media production.